What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 31 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Belegar Ironhammer campaign. So as we saw last time, we have finally confederated Karak, the High King, now subordinate to the King of Eight Peaks. And I suppose it does make at least some amount of sense, considering there's no way that the High King, the Thorgrim, could have done what Belegar here did. So, yeah, great job to Belegar. Thorgrim, we'll see you on the battlefield fairly shortly, and we'll gauge just how wide you are. Now, we did leave off the episode with the end of the turn and Grand Peak under attack by Erog of the Bone Rattlers. Now, usually I'd be reasonably confident, but we have, what, we have 5 troops and they're all at below half HP. 31 out of 80 troops, 40 out of 100, 40% basically. Alright, so it's a little bit more concerning. Well, it may be more concerning, but it may also be quite interesting, and we're gonna have to wait and see. I suppose an interesting question is whether we actually want to fight enemies on the walls here. The Rune of Wrath and Ruin is not able to affect units up on walls, so it might actually be better to draw them off, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just fight this regular style rather than cinematically, mostly because I feel like this is something we've done already a decent number of times, similar defenses, and while usually it's with much more HP, we've already seen this type of battle way too many times, is what I'm getting at. And I think it's a pretty simple setup, and then otherwise we probably won't have to control the battlefield, or control the battle really all that much. Now, let's see what we got in terms of the setup here. Looks like the enemy has most of their stuff on this. Oh wow, they didn't build a ram. They went for 6 siege towers. Okay, kind of interesting. And what do we have here? We have a couple river trolls and the goblin big boss. Oh, there's no infantry here. Okay, that makes this a lot easier, or at least it makes the setup a lot easier. So what we'll do is we'll put one of our quarrelers here, just the one. Just the one, and 1 second. Of course I have to move my cat just as the episode starts. Sorry about that, I had to make a little cut. It didn't actually take more than a couple seconds, but I left the mouse like this and the screen was spinning the entire time I was moving my cat, and I didn't want to make anybody dizzy. But it did look funny. Anyway, let's set up. We got a fairly nice position for our unit of grudge throwers all the way up here. Hopefully they can actually fire from up here. I guess we're about to find out. Then we're going to put a unit of quarrelers, let's say, here. We gotta activate the tower, but also we don't want them directly fighting in melee. 2 units of dwarf warriors, one, let's say, here, and one, let's say, I don't know, here, and then the rangers between them. Like so, to fire upon there, and then you 2 here. We probably will try to find, may want to fight a retreat, or do a fighting retreat sort of thing, and fight down here. I'm not 100% on it, but I feel like we do want to activate the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and to do so, we need to be on the ground level. Anyway, let's also build the towers. We have plenty of defensive supplies, so explosive tower, and explosive tower, and we got 600 left. We could build another explosive tower either here, or there's a place here as well. I'm not entirely sure which would be better. Let's see how far this reaches. Alright, so this does reach down here. It can just barely reach the walls, and it reaches the center. You know what? I think that's not bad. Is this connected to up here? No. All 3 of these towers are connected to here. Yeah, so I think this battle will basically be decided by whether we lose this place or not. Alrighty, otherwise we're looking good, so start battle now. Go. And then all of you attack the towers with big guns on them, please. And that's the biggest concern. Alright, can you actually attack? Yes, you can. Lovely. Now, what about up here? Let's tell all of you to actually focus the Goblin Big Boss first, because he should be much easier to rout than the regenerating River Troll Hags. And there we are. Alrighty, you, towers, help out with attacking as soon as you can. Alright, so you're going to be in range now, by the looks of it. Actually not 100% sure whether these towers can attack siege towers or not, but we're about to find out. Well, they're firing. Whether it actually works or whether it does any damage is a different question. Well, it missed that time, so that's not gonna get answered. At least not yet. Alright, everybody else keep firing. You guys keep attacking the tower. You guys keep attacking this tower. We may want to switch to this tower here and here. We do want both of them to go down. It looks like this one will fall regardless. And we're free to use pretty much all of our ammunition because I don't think it'll make any difference. Alright, this tower will fall. I would like to destroy this tower as well, but it's unlikely. 11% HP now. 7. Alright. Come on. A few more shots. At least destroy one of them, please. And there we go. Down goes one. You, artillery, switch to this tower. Hey, it looks like an impact from our other tower. And, I wonder. We might not be able to knock this one down. It's gonna be close, that's for sure. But we shall see. It would be nice if we can get it to happen, but there's obviously no guarantee. And getting closer, 15% HP. Oh, we gotta get one of these big towers to knock it down for us. There we go, switch targets to it, please. What are we at here? 1%? Down it goes. Lovely, lovely job, everybody. You guys. I want you... I'm actually not sure where to send you now. You go here, perhaps, and then we'll send the Dwarf Warriors like something like this. You guys are going to need to fight here, wherever this tower is going. Everybody switch directions, essentially. And maybe a little bit more, even like this. It's not that we want these guys to get surrounded, we just want them to get engaged with other units. Oh, look, you can fire on those Goblin Wolf Riders as well. Nice, nice. There's nobody on this side, but that's fine, I think. You guys get ready to go for these archers, and then all of you towers immediately target the archers that are up here. Like so, and you guys attack them. And then where's the other one? Right here, and attack them, please. Alright, the rest will climb, but that's hardly surprising. Alright, good. You guys switch and then start attacking the Orc Biggins as they climb, please. Looks good to me. And, oh, no, don't do that. Ooh, actually, maybe do that. Maybe go down here and then fire upon these guys. Alright, the enemy lord is on the field. Let's see if we can't hunt him down with you two. Thane and Rune Lord, away you go. Alright, here comes the Thane. Can we reduce this guy's capabilities in any way? Well, not really, but we can increase our own by popping a Rune of Speed and hopefully damaging this guy heavily before the Biggins get here. You guys are going to countercharge or counteract the Biggins, try to prevent them from attacking our Rune Lord, whereas our towers are going to go after the Biggins themselves, like so and like so. Rangers still doing their job, and go here now and then fire on the Biggins climbing there. That looks good to me. Alright, other towers keep on firing. Grudge throwers. Throwing those grudges at the Orc Biggins. I wonder, do we actually want to kill the enemy lord? Or do we want to heavily wound him? Because if we can't kill everybody here, then the army will come back. And a damaged lord is often better than a dead one. Because they'll just replace him with another one. And it could be a more devastating one. Yeah, certainly something to give the thought to, or some thought to. Alright, just damage him heavily if you can. A few more hits and then go after the Biggins there. And where are you going, Orc boys? Alright, and as we can see, so far this is going pretty darn well. You guys can help out with those Orc Biggins as well. Oh, looks like the Rangers are getting into a little bit of a fight, but that's fine. Towers continue to support here. Yeah, I think we got this. As I said, we've done a lot of these defenses, and they're really... We're old hands at this point. And I think at this point we've also learned not to underestimate the defensive capabilities of the Dwarfs, even horribly outnumbered. Yeah, get them indeed. Alrighty, and let's just knock out the rest of these Biggins. We gotta make sure that our Rune Lord doesn't die, so let's pop Patriarch on him. And we can also pop, well, no Rune of Wrath and Ruin, sadly, but something. Alright, you guys stay here. Any of these runes is actually going to help us? Well, we could pop a Rune of Speed on these guys and chase them down if we wanted to. Ah, why not? It's better than nothing. And go after these guys and, yeah, keep firing everybody. Oh, we do want the towers to remain active though, so you guys stay here. Alright, is there anybody else who is still firing? Well, there is one concern. The river troll hags will eventually get through, so we will have to defend against those. So our healthiest unit of dwarf warriors should probably go over there. So what we'll do is we'll activate this tower. Everybody else keeps firing and just killing off all these units. You know, let's just speed it up. I think the battle, while not over, is getting close to it. The enemy's also kind of milling around, so... Alright, good. And you guys down here... Whoa, what the heck? Whoa, 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 whoa. How did the spiders get through? What the heck? Okay, at least some of them got through. Ooh, you know what that means, though. Rune of Wrath and Ruin. You know what? Just in case this explodes the unit on top of here. I'm not entirely sure that it will, but I'd rather not risk it. Let's move those guys away. And then we'll Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Right there. That should hurt them, I think. They're at what? Didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, but it did some. Alrighty, you guys, go chase after something. And they've gone after our grudge throwers. Oh, well, isn't that tremendously rude as well? You guys, you're needed to stay up here, but you guys are going to be needed to fight the river troll hags. Alright, back to max speed, I think. And, oh, towers. No, don't kill the lord, don't kill the lord. Go after the infantry. Screw the lord. And rangers, you're out of ammunition, so you can move in and help against the river troll hags. And then you, grudge throwers, you need to pick up your machines. Where are they? Wait, what? I see the crew. I don't see the machinery. Huh. Wait, are you telling me the charge of the, 3 spider riders destroyed both machines? Is that odd? Feels odd to me. Well, whatever, go hide up here, don't die. Yeah, I don't even see the thing to pick up the, pick the machines back up. Odd, but sure. You can go and chase after the river troll hags, which, oh damn, the enemy lord died. Oh well, what can you do about that? Nothing. You guys, speed it up, let's move up here. Everybody will fight the river trolls together. In fact, you know what? Karoo got victory. Oh, okay. Nobody will fight the river troll hags together. Or river trolls, rather. These aren't the hag variety. Try to chase them down. And you, go reactivate the towers. And we'll speed back up. Alright, reasonably quick little battle, but it certainly was interesting. But it did go about as expected, so, yeah. Alright, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. I want to get a rune of slowness on these guys as soon as they get close enough for us to attack. Right there. There we go. Everybody strike them down if you can. If we can at least knock out the unit of river troll hags, that'll be a lot, a significantly weakened army, I should say. Ah, damn. And they will escape, I think. Yeah, the towers have terrible accuracy, so... Although it does depend on where exactly these guys are gonna run. What are they doing? They're just running around. Oh, man. Sometimes I don't know AI. I just don't know. Also, why can't you activate these towers? What the heck? Are you telling me artillery crit? No, okay, there we go. Alright, how are you guys doing? River troll hags are moving this way. I'm not calling this battle until the... Oh, they're gonna move into the city rather than through the wall. There really should be a thing where you manually open a gate. I really don't understand why that's not a thing. Alright, well, heroic victory. Nice little defense. Relatively minimal losses and pretty heavy losses for the enemy side, but it's dwarfs on the defensive, and this is why I wanted that plus 1,000 defensive supply upgrade as quickly as possible. It's quite valuable to have a second explosive tower, especially with as powerful towers as they are, or as powerful as towers are in SFO. Now let's see if anybody else is going to attack us here. Yeah, it looks like that unit... Okay, so these two escaped and the goblin big boss escaped. But otherwise there ain't much left of the army. And we got a decent amount of money for that, so we're gonna take it. They're going to they're going to re-siege us. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Can you attack them again? Okay, we're gonna find out in a second. We can probably auto-resolve and it'll probably kill our entire garrison, but leave Gradnar Copperpot alive. I expect that's what'll happen. Mission successful Border Princes, a Cooper for Gradnar, a Brewmaster for Malgo. When the heck is Malgo? There is no Malgo. I do see Gotrek and Felix, but I see no Malgo. Why did it go here? Okay, game. Alrighty, and Thorgrim is up and running, so we'll be getting battles with him fairly quickly. Now, is there any purpose to getting Gotrek and Felix for us right now? If we send somebody here, do we really want to send somebody all the way here just for this? Well, I suppose Burundin isn't actually really doing anything right now. Now, you know what? He's providing bonus control and stuff in this territory. Yeah. Alrighty. You know what? Head into Montanas then. We can't have you going to Bilbali anyway. You are going to immediately upgrade Nuka or Nuja. We probably don't actually need the ranger thing here anymore, and maybe better off getting public order or something. Chaos corruption is going to take a while to drop. On the other hand, what if we need to build emergency rangers to fight Aranessa again?
For the wisdom of Valea.
4K to colonize that. Yeah, that's not happening, or at least it ain't happening right now. Anyway, in Gradnar, attack this. Really, valiant defeat, eh? Why? Because they... Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. So now they have a more threatening boss than they did before. Oh, right, and they have the zombie summons. Wait, did they use the zombie summons in that battle? Or did they not? Maybe they did on the other side and I didn't even notice. Interesting. Well, let's just fight this again real quick. I want these guys gone for good. I don't want them just sieging. They might attack if they're continuing to siege, but what also might happen is if we allow this, another army might come along while they're sieging, and then this place wouldn't be able to hold. It might also be of benefit to us to try to peace out with the Vamps for a little bit, just so that we can take care of the Orky and Skaveny situation, and we can return to the Vamps after. Oh yeah, we're down to one grudge thrower here, alas. But oh well. Alrighty, now you guys gonna move together, like so and like so. And then you two are gonna be fighting. Let's see if we can do this. And then you guys back here. Try not to get charged by the hags, or the river trolls. I keep calling them hags, even though the hags are the heroes. Alright, is there anything here that our grudge thrower can actually hurt? I don't think it can hurt river trolls. They'll just heal up. Maybe if it gets a few shots off on the big boss, but he'll just dodge it. Oh, you know, I have an idea. Start battle. Fire on the orc war boss. Or maybe even fire on these river troll hags. I want to see something. I want to see if this one artillery piece can force them to do the dance. Because if it can, we might be able to keep them out of the battle in general. Alright, well, we have ammunition for a little while, so let's see if this can annoy them enough for them to come forward. And then we'll fight. It may also be a benefit to actually fight in the trees rather than here, but then on the other hand, our quarrelers and stuff wouldn't have a great time with it. Alright, we'll see if the enemy does come forward with at least half of the ammunition gone. And if not, we'll send one of our ranger units forward to try to do the same thing. Although, maybe we want to send the entire army forward then. You know what, let's slowly move the entire army forward. No, never mind, they're moving. Alrighty, well, keep those hags a-dancing. Oh, damn, they've disappeared. I should have put a lord up here to keep them visible. Put it back up on regular speed. Quarrelers, get ready to go after the river trolls. You, stay back. We'll have to use the Thane here. Yeah, they've kind of stopped the dance, which ain't so great. Alright, all of you. First target, river trolls, the weak-live river trolls. Second target, the goblin big boss. Alright, Thane, I'm gonna need you to countercharge this. And we're gonna pop the Rune of Oath and Steel now. Ah, it's too late by a few seconds. Alright, fire. Yeah, the grudge thrower ain't doing much for us. Alright, you guys kill the goblin big boss then, while the quarrelers go after the other unit. Alright, the goblin big boss is nearly out. All quarrelers, get ready to switch targets. We want that unit to shatter though, or else it'll just heal up, especially without units having been lost. Alright, quarrelers, switch targets, one here and then one to the river trolls. All of you start going after the lord then. And you're just plain not going to kill the other units. You, artillery piece, fire on... I don't really care who. Just as long as you're firing. You guys, okay, the enemies are running. Switch targets to the river trolls. Alright, do we have anything? Pop Patriarch on the Rune Lord, and then Rune Lord, I'm gonna need you to back off. We're going to need a Overcast Rune of Speed on everybody here. And then Thane, it's all you, buddy. You know what? Actually, ignore the boss, go after the river trolls. You start hitting the river trolls in the back. Alright, those guys are still running. Alright, charge river trolls in the back. Yeah, there's the zombies. Okay, well, we'll need the Rune of Wrath and Ruin for that. Portalers keep firing, though. Yeah, this may actually be closer than we'd like. And the Thane is in trouble. Yeah, see, the Orc Warboss. Oh, damn, zombies are moving. That ain't so great either. Well, keep firing on the river troll, or the river troll every time. Alright, you guys, keep firing on this as well. You, get ready to switch targets to the other unit of trolls as soon as they move, which is now. Alright. Alright, you're gonna have to hold the zombies, man. Alright, rest of you go after the Orc Warboss. Keep firing on the trolls. Yeah, they're just gonna recover all their HP at this rate. You gotta have them around. These other ones are gonna come back. There's nothing we can do about that. And I'm gonna speed this up a little bit again. Oh, are they going to ignore that and they're going to charge our range units? Yes, they are, but they look like they're about to rout. Yes, okay, we got one left, and this unit will be destroyed. Oh, no, actually, it just got knocked down. Never mind. Alright, our Dwarf Warriors are also in trouble. We're gonna have to commit Rangers to the melee fight. Alright, the rest of you go after the Trolls. You go here. We are going to need a Rune. You know what? I was about to say you're gonna need a Rune of Wrath and Run, but no, we're gonna wait. The problem is, we may need to use it on a second summon. If they summon zombies again, we'll need to use it on both. And you try to go after the Orc Warboss. How are you guys doing? Keep firing on the Trolls. That Thane is really working for us, and damn. Trolls are back again. Oh, annoying. Alright, you guys switch targets again. He's gonna kill the Thane sooner or later. You're just wasting your time fighting these guys, but they're just gonna summon more, aren't they? It's 3 uses, but we gotta wait until the cooldown pops. Alright, now these guys are shattered. Good. Alrighty, and then while this is happening, I'm gonna switch you. I'm just gonna move my cat 1 second. Ah, yes, the second I go to move the cat, the one guy routs, the other guy's gone. Ah. A double cast, Rune of Wrath and Ruin. All of you switch to the enemy lord in terms of range. Damage, Dwarf Warriors are coming back. There we go. Nice hit with the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Zombies are nearly out. The enemy war boss is in trouble as well. And, ooh, the armor reduction from the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Actually hadn't thought of using it for that purpose, but it does seem to be helpful. Alright, well, we don't care about the zombies. Try to chase down the war boss now. I'd like to actually chase down the river troll hags as well so that this army can't come back. Alright, kill him. Make sure he's gone for good. You stop firing. Please tell me you guys can actually kill him. There we go. Alright. Well, both units of river troll hags can survive, but I think we can get this army out of the way. Ah, sorry this is taking up so long of the episode, but I guess we kind of had to deal with it. Not to worry, we're gonna get a proper battle shortly. We have several things we actually need to do, and we possibly may want to attack either Schwarzhofen, actually probably only Schwarzhofen. Then there is the attack on Sly something or other, who is near to Karak Draj, and then there's Thorgrim. And what can we do with him? Let's take another 1,000 gold for that. Sure thing. Alrighty, and the river trolls. They have actually been destroyed. Okay, good. Lovely. Now, Grand Peak. That was slightly problematic, or at least more so than I'd like. We can get these pastures back, but I think for now we're going to delete them in favor of building up walls. Just so that we can get a head start on it. It's going to take 4 turns after all, so we're going to delete you. We're going to pop a stonemason which you already have here. We can probably reduce it further by sending a Alaric down here. You have a stonemason as well, yes? Yeah. Although we could also do it next turn. It's not a crazy expenditure. But you know what? We probably want to keep Alaric at Oakenhammer. So let's think about this. If we attack Schwarzhofen with Cazador, and I'm thinking we attack it, loot and occupy it, and then trade it to one of these guys. We don't care about these territories, and frankly, I have no interest in even trying to hold them. Granted, Castle Drakenhof does have a gold mine, though. And dwarfs do like their gold. Or it has golden idols, but, yeah. It's same thing for our purposes. Maybe there is a reason to hold Schwarzhofen. It does have pastures, wine, and gold. All things considered, it's not a bad territory to have for the dwarves. We could always trade Waldenhof to these guys if we can manage to destroy Sylvania. The issue is, how the heck can we take Castle Drakenhof with these guys? We need another army. And really, we need Thorgrim to do it for us. Speaking of Thorgrim, actually, while we're here, so Burundan is currently holding all of these guys. There is a massive number of forces here, and a full stack garrison as well with a ton of artillery. I'm not sure that we want to actually attack that. We could try to draw them into a field battle, but we would definitely get overwhelmed. And then again, it is just piles upon piles of gobos and stuff. Then there's this. If Burundan weren't so busy, he could jump to Mount Squighorn. But then who would attack Sly? Can Karak Drawn defend itself? No, it cannot. Fimber Ironhammer. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Also, can Guthrie move to Mount Squighorn? No, he cannot. I was just thinking who we can move in to help out with this place. But yeah, the problem is we have to attack Sly. If Sly goes for Karak Drawn, we can't stop him. Although, I do wonder, how far past Sly would we be able to run? If we were to go into Marchtowns, what's the likelihood that we could loop around like this? Nah, pretty low. We're using 44% just to get to Sly, so there's no way we can reach it. May not be able to do this as I would like. You could move to Sly, though. Can you defeat him? It really depends on what's in his army. If he has Arachnaroks, you have no chance. This army is kind of garbage, though. You still have... Oh, you actually have no runes. We'll also need to give you runes if we want to do that. And your army's also damaged, I want to point out. And the reason I would like to use you and Gautry together is because, well, both of you have the same type of units. The other option would be to try to put Burundan, or probably actually Thorgrim, into ambush outside this settlement, ignore this altogether, and use Bernoth and Fimber to attack this instead. Maybe that's the better option. Alright, so here's what we'll do then. Skag Growlsh, we're going to replace you with Thorgrim, so we're going to swap you guys around, like so. Then we're going to replace you, assuming you don't have anything, which you do not, with Thorgrim. Okay. Why? Okay, this is gonna be a problem if I'm like this every time I see that portrait, but... Oh, the whitest dwarf in all the land. Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, now, what do you have? You need a respec, that's what you need. You don't have anything from your unique line? Oh, but you can't access your unique line yet. You need to be rank 12. Alright, what could we want right now? Well, we want Grimnir's heirs no matter what, because Thorgrim has a massive reduction for hammer upkeep. 40% plus 10%, so 50% upkeep reduction for them, and possibly Well, it probably won't get Inquiring Mind, it probably wouldn't have enough points, but yeah, 50% reduction for hammers is pretty damn crazy, and we obviously would want to use them as his main line, because they'd be extremely cheap. Not Dwarf Warrior cheap, but at 50%, they would be Longbeard cheap, and they are much, much stronger than Longbeards. Alright, but I'm getting ahead of myself. In the meantime, what we need to do is skills, and you only have one of your items. Which is great. Oh, that's amazing. Not because we want the item, or even because I care about the quest, which I do, or as in the quest battle, but because this will award us the control bonus for getting the quest. Okay, we need to reach level 12 with him as fast as possible, do the battle, and then completely fix our public order. It'll be a 50-point swing. And the casualty replenishment rate would also be nice, but yes, Thorgrim, you have uses. Alright. Well, first of all, first things first, reset character skills, yes. And we are going to go with Inspiring Presence, we are going to go with Grimnir's Heirs for those hammerers, and I believe he also buffs artillery, yes, fire support. Master Engineer capacity, hero action costs, all characters faction wide, but more importantly, ammo and missile strength increase for all artillery types. We'll probably be going organ guns with him. Because I have another army in mind, actually I have several armies in mind, where flame cannons would be A, the fire army, and B, another army, possibly the explosive army as well. It just feels like the fire cannons or flame cannons would work better. Also, Grudge Against the Foul, and gives us green skin and Skaven buffs for the entire army. I don't think any of the other grudges are currently necessary, though Grudge Against Undead if we move north. Alright, we have 4 points remaining. High King. Passive ability, area augment, plus 10 attack, very, very nice. Affects all allies in range if hit points less than 50%. Okay, fine. This is not an underway interception, or at least it won't be. I think we'll probably pop the other 2 points in Thunderer, so that we start moving through this. Though, wait, rank 12, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, no, we should just hold on to the rest of the points. Do we even need Root Marcher here? Well, we don't need it here.
I'd rather eat a squeak.
Wait. Wait, I have an idea. You, Burundin... Okay, let me see if I got this right. Maybe we do need Root Marcher. Let me see here. Thorgrim, you're gonna go Root Marcher. Then, Burundin, you're going to go to Mount Squighorn, like so, and you're going to siege it. Like so. Having sieged it means we are free to attack Thaga, and they can't join in, though whether we can reach Thaga remains to be seen. If we can destroy him here, that'll make the settlement considerably weaker. That said, Thorgrim has no items and no ancillaries. I don't want to take a long time to do that right now. I'm just thinking, is there another battle that we could do? We could do the fight at Schwarzhafen, if we wanted to, with these guys. And though I suppose one of the issues there is that... Actually, no, there isn't really much of an issue. Other than the fact that they have towers, and thus would have artillery to fire upon us, or tower cannons and whatnot to fire upon us, and we have no recourse against it, at least not currently. So that would be an issue. There's also Sly, which we would be able to attack with everybody here.
Let me think about it.
At least now.
No.
What?
Alright, maybe we do Sly then. I really kind of wanted to see Thorgrim in action, but we probably don't have time to do both of these battles. Alright, let's start with Sly. We'll do the others later. So, we're gonna move you in. Like so. I wonder what'll happen if he runs away. That'll be a bigger problem. Oh, can we see what's in his wall? Alright, a bunch of gobos. No... Yeah, okay. The trolls are slightly problematic, but nothing else super problematic. Alright, burn off. Then you don't have to move up here. You're gonna go here. He's gonna run? No, he's not. He will fight a close victory. Alrighty. I was thinking that if this had Arachnaroks or Giants, then issue, but like this, not so much. Rune of Seeking. A Rune of Burning. A Rune of Penetration. Yeah, we probably want to power up the bolt throwers rather than the cannons. The cannons are better than the bolt throwers, even though I'm not happy with cannons either, but whatever. Rune of Sanctuary, where is the Rune of Stoicism? That goes on the Lord. Rune of Slowness, Rune of Dismay, probably on one of the mainline units. Let's put the Rune of Sanctuary, you know what, we'll probably just buff you guys up as the mainline units, and you may as well cause fear. Alrighty, that looks good to me. Let's do this in a nice little cinematic.
By Grimnir I order thee!
Alrighty, I'm pretty excited for this, and also I just saw army summoned several enemy units. Okay, so they have more units summoned and even more units coming in from the wall. Honestly, this turned out to be quite a few more orcs than I was originally expecting, but that's what makes it an even more exciting battle. It's gonna be nice to hold back the tide of greenskins with our new army here, and this is sort of the fledgling form of our gunnery army. Yes, we will be changing it quite a bit as we go, and we'll soon have access to things like Iron Drakes, and, well, actually, technically we do have access to them now, but you just can't yet afford them, but soon. And, yeah, there's some Grudge Rakers here as well. Gonna check out how those shotguns function for them, and then a bunch of irregular Thunderers as well. Since we've been relying on Rangers, it'll be nice to see bullets rather than quarrels for a little bit. Plus, on top of all that, damn, that's a lot of orcs. On top of all that, we now have a cannon, so we can compare cannon to grudge thrower to bolt throwers in terms of their performance here. Alrighty, well, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. The enemy is not coming towards us, but that's just fine. One of the artillery pieces, the bolt throwers, does have another use that the others cannot really do, and that is the fact that it moves at 30 speed rather than 20, which means it can move up to the front line, annoy the enemy, and then still move close enough to return to help the rest of our army out. So we're going to move it forward, get a few shots off on the enemy gobos here, just out of curiosity here. I'm gonna get 1 or 2 shots off. I just want to see how many gobos it can kill like this. Alright, and this one has, I believe, the Rune of Penetration. So we got 7 kills in a single volley, 500 damage. Not really all that much, to be perfectly frank, but, well, still better than nothing. Oh, well, of course you had to hit in the worst possible place. Yeah, it actually doesn't look like the Rune of Penetration doing anything crazy, but it does look like it is able to kill at least 2 to 3 units with every single shot like this, rather than 1. Which is, to be fair, considerably better in terms of actually destroying infantry for a bolt thrower. Anyway, that was just a test, and we will be switching the fire instead to the trolls here, as it is a much better use of our time, and I want to see whether the Rune of Penetration allows the shots to actually penetrate the trolls and hit 2 rather than 1. Whether they... Maybe it can. It kind of looked like it traveled through 2 here, interestingly enough. I wish we could see the individual HP of every unit. Well, keep firing, we'll see how that works out. The bolts actually move so fast that you can't quite follow them very well. It's even more difficult to follow them than it is the cannons, it seems. Alright, so it looks like the first few trolls are gonna get knocked out. I was about to say knocked down, but yeah, 3 trolls out of the picture. Gonna keep firing for at least a little while longer until the enemy gets even more annoyed and then starts moving towards us. And then it'll be time for our thunderers and our cannons to go to work. Finally, they've been waiting fairly a long time. Though we're only on turn, what, 40 or something like that? It's actually not that far into the campaign yet. But we've had a very, very aggressive early start to this campaign, so a lot of turns took a bit longer than they normally would in the early portions. so it's hardly surprising. Alrighty, well, it looks like the anthill's been kicked, the orc hill, and the enemy will now be approaching us. We're going to move the bolt thrower back behind our lines, and we're going to start firing the rest of our artillery. Cannon. Well, let's see how effective you are. I actually reasonably like the Cathayan Grand Cannons as opposed to the Dwarfen and the Imperial Grand Cannons. Also, the sound design is much better on the Cathayan's ones, but that is a particularly neat sound design in general. I actually don't know whether the Cathayan cannons are any better in any way. They just sound a lot better, which is why I can't help but like them. Anyway, lots and lots of enemy orcs moving towards us. Let's see how much damage our cannon and our grudge throwers and whatever else can do. Ooh, nice shot right into the middle of that pile of goblins with the exploding grudge throwers. Man, the grudge throwers with the Rune of Explosion are just fantastic. They're like a completely different artillery piece, almost. They're extremely strong against piles of infantry and have been very useful throughout this campaign. Too bad we can't get more of those runes. Maybe we can find them via magical effects. Honestly, I really don't think that runes should be limited. Like just like items, you should be able to build as many as you want, because especially in the late game, when you have like 20 or 30 stacks, maybe not 30, but say 20 stacks, or even 10 stacks, there's a lot of runes that you just can't use because you're limited to 3 copies of each, and it's just kind of unfortunate. It feels like the dwarves should have access to them in general. Anyway, the enemy do continue to move forward and are soon going to be in range of our thunderers. In fact, the first of them are already there, and we are going to start firing on them. I love it. Finally a gunnery episode. Oh, the ranks firing at the same time. Very nice. And cannons firing from behind them, of course. Let's see that again. There we go. I just wanted to get some of the gunnery sound effects. We also have our grudge rakers deployed, and we deployed them with a nice little firing lane here. As in, the dwarf warriors are standing to the side, and it's completely open for them to fire at whatever they please. Our lord is there as well, but yeah, that's fine. Alright, well, their firing effect is quite nice, and the enemy has arrived. Let's see how long we can hold them. The blasting charges are now going to fly. We do have our reinforcing unit that has brought 3 miners of blasting charges, which should help. Otherwise, we are targeting, by and large, the enemy trolls with our guns, and both of these units are pretty much destroyed already, and as they run, we'll be switching targets to them once again with the bolt throwers to hopefully continue knocking them out and prevent them from coming back. The enemy melee line is pretty big, but it's also made up of goblins, so they're going to have a tough time on breaking through dwarf warriors of any kind. And there is a little bit of a range exchange going on at the same time as well. We've also popped our Horn of the Ancestors to summon a nice ancestral spirit. Can't have the ghosts only be present in Belegar's army after all. Though it might make sense for Belegar considering he doesn't have much in the way of a melee line whatsoever. We're also really going to need some longbeards here. Can't be using dwarf warriors for too much longer, and the only reason we are is because, well, A, we have them, and B, they're very, very cheap. More blasting charges moving in, and our artillery are now focusing down all the enemy range units in the background here. Looking like it's doing pretty good damage to the Night Gobos, though it is actually something of a problem that the enemy routes so quickly. Obviously, if the enemy runs off the map, we're going to have to fight more of them later, as they will come back. And the army didn't back off either. Alright, more blasting charges. There's some... Okay, where are those grudge rakers? See them fire a little bit more. There's a very nice blob for them. This is pretty ideal, I think, for them to fire into. 54 damage and armor piercing and shield breaker. Their kill count is actually fairly low at 29. Maybe they want to be even closer, but they are... Let's see. What's their range at? This is about 50% of their... No, this is probably pretty ideal. And just not getting as many kills as I would have thought they would. Now granted, right now they are firing at a unit of orc boys rather than a unit of gobos. so perhaps that's causing a little bit of an issue for him, but nonetheless. Alrighty, and we're gonna sally out a little bit with some miners just to throw their blasting charges at enemy range units, and some dwarf warriors with great weapons, but we're not gonna follow too far. Looks like the enemy Black Orc Big Boss has been by and large destroyed by the summoned Ghost Spirit, and is now going to get shot by the Thunderers. Very nice, and he loses his head and his boar together. Alright, looks like the rest of the enemy army is pretty much broken at this point. The balance of power is about 65-70% in our favor, but I think it's a lot better than it looks, in the sense that the entire army could shatter at any moment, and as we can see, their leadership is pretty low, and a fair few units have shattered already. Alright, keep thundering away, Thunderers, Cannons, and the Grudge Throwers keep firing. Really, we just need to make the enemy range units stop. And this army does have a decent amount of range itself. I was just listening to the guns firing again. I missed that sound. Yeah, we do have a decent amount of range ourselves, so it's not like we can't have a range exchange. There you go, Thunderers. Granted, the Thunderers are probably wasting a fair few of their... oh, wow, that was a terrible shot cannon. Come on. Unless you were aiming at that thing. Yeah, wasting a little bit of our armor-piercing damage on the enemy Gabo archers, but that's okay. Alrighty, and let's see, bounce power is about 80% in our favor now, and no, it looks like still a fair few enemy units are coming back, though blasting charges may see them off. Some fanatics spinning towards us. Ooh, nice hit, and it looks like they stopped mostly just before they got to our miners. A few more blasting charges into that blob, and just like that, the rest of the army will shatter. Very, very nice. The tide thrown back, and the guns thundered away, or the Thunderers thundered away. I do want to see how much damage we did here. 69, nice. The actual damage wasn't crazy high here. Similar. Well, these guys did pretty well. Yeah, and what about the melee line? They should have done a lot less, though. 6k, yeah, they did about half or less damage than the Thunderers did, although miners with blasting charges, 234 kills and 35k damage. They may be fragile, but you gotta love those blasting charges. Just wait until we have frickin' Ironbreakers on the field. Really, the only thing holding us back right now is economy, and the economy is coming. It's just slow to build up, but we're definitely starting to focus it a little bit more now. Honestly, if we could get like 10 turns where we have like 10,000 gold income and just spend it all on economy rather than getting new units, it'll allow us to probably build up enough of an economy to build more or several more new armies with a bunch of new units. But anyway, a heroic victory for us. Looks like not a crazy amount of damage here. The enemy failed to breach our lines and were gunned down in droves. Let's compare how the artillery did. I'm very curious about that. Alrighty, a heroic victory and a really fun battle. You gotta love throwing back hordes of enemies like that. Now, plenty of the enemies did escape. Their army got about half HP damage. One of their troll units got destroyed, but otherwise we will still have to, I think, hunt them down and continue to kill them. Our own losses at 200 weren't all that big, but the thing I'm most curious about is we had all the different types of artillery firing. So what do we, well, not all of them, but 3 different types. Anyway, so our cannons got 25k damage, and our Grudge Thrower got 75k damage. Yeah, well, especially with the Rune of Burning. 15k on the Bolt Throwers, and that's with the Rune of Seeking as well. Now, granted, they were targeting enemy trolls a lot, but, you know, for an entire battle, 1 unit of dead trolls doesn't feel like it's a lot to show for an artillery piece, just in my opinion. And then we did get 34k on the Rune of Penetration and Bolt Thrower, so that makes the unit a lot more valuable. In fact, it made it more valuable than the cannon. So, because of the Rune of Penetration, it looks like it can kill a considerable amount of gobos. and orcs, 241 kills after all. Less than the cannon, mind you. But you gotta keep in mind that the bolt throwers were targeting these guys a lot more. Both of them were, so it could be a disparity there. Generally speaking, once again, I'm not a big fan of either the cannon or the bolt thrower as far as dwarven artillery goes, and it's odd. Dwarven artillery should probably be the best artillery, but or at least tied up there. Now, another curious thing, what do we got in terms of damage? We got 20k on one of the regular Thunders. The Grudge Rakers only did about 13k, which is okay. So now we have to ask ourselves, are Grudge Rakers even worth it, just based on this? So if they're doing the same amount of damage as the regular Thunderers are, but with only half the range, or whatever significant amount of range reduction, I feel like that decreases their value somewhat. And in fact, they lost considerably against one of the other Thunderers, and the Grudge Rakers had a really nice position for firing for the entire battle. We left a firing lane open specifically for them. I would like, however, to see how these guys perform with buffs, so we'll have to see that later on. A nice 251 Oath Gold as reward, so we'll obviously take that. And then we're going to have to see whether we can chase slide down, which doesn't look like it's a possibility. Alright, we got a Stonemason, a Fiery Ring of Thori, which I take it is another fireball sort of ability. Meh, but better than nothing. And yeah, these guys cannot, in fact, chase down Sly, but he's damaged enough, and wait. He's in our territory. Yeah, how is he healing? In no stance. Why? What is this? How dare you? And his Wa... Huh. Wait, I thought that the Wa would dissipate if this guy lost the battle, but apparently not. Not like this army, the remnants of this army is going to be a problem, mind you. But how the heck are they healing? They own Mount Squighorn, but they're currently in Karak Draj. They're not in any stance. I'm just jealous because we have problems with healing no matter where we are. We're in enemy territory, we're hardly healing. And honestly, even in our own, this is our own territory. It's basically on the same level of healing as their stanceless, our territory healing. In fact, it might be worse, who knows. Yeah, Dwarven healing is garbage, but oh well. Either way, we'll chase down Sly and destroy him without too much problem, but more importantly, next time, as I am going to call the episode here, we will get the debut for Thorgrim, and I guess the debut for a giant pile of Slayers as well, which should be pretty fun. I've been excited to get more of these units. Now, Thorgrim is going to transfer all these Slayers to Khazad-dûr Dragon Slayer, as they will make up the bulk of his non-Great Weapon Ranger army, maybe a few artillery pieces as well. But Thorgrim will obviously be getting hammerers, as we already discussed. More importantly, while this may not have seemed like a super important episode, now that we have Thorgrim and all these armies are just consolidated here, we are going to begin the push northward towards Mount Gunbad to burn out the Crooked Moon for good. Once these guys are dead, and once Belegar takes care of Clan Rictus, because he's on the way up here as well, we will have our borders a lot more secure than we had before. And honestly, the same thing is true of Sylvania. Then we can essentially turn our eyes upon the Exiles, upon Imric, and upon Azag and Darklands in general, but it'll mean a lot more safer territory, because the enemy won't be able to come down here anymore. So that's exciting, plus all the extra control bonus that we get for the short victory out of the destruction of Crooked Moon. So anyway, gonna call it here. Stay tuned next time for debut of Thorgrim the Wide. And don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.